Good morning, guys. Really happy that you're with me. So I was saying last time that there was not so many people reading, but we are 35, which really makes me happy. But you might not come back after this reading. Why? For two reasons. There's not much action. It's a lot of going on in the head of Jean Valjean or Mr. Madeleine, same person. And second reason is that a bit further on, I don't know what happened. Look, I don't know what happened here. You see, to the scan. Not good quality. I'm really sorry. I don't have the book with me. I'm already in Brussels working. But so we are going to try to get through it. We're page 87. And so, indépendamment du but sévère et religieux que se proposaient ces actions, tout ce qu'il avait fait jusqu'à ce jour n'était autre chose qu'un trou qu'il creusait pour y enfouir son nom. So, independently of the severe and religious goal that his actions proposed, because remember, he is thinking of everything that Javert said to him. This man, who is in fact in prison instead of him, because they think he is this other man. So he's now thinking about all of this, and so not considering, independently of all the severe and religious elements, everything that he had done until this day was nothing else, notre chose was nothing else than a hole that he was digging to y enfouir is like to bury there his name. And the there is I, that's always a place there, to bury his name there. So he really wanted to forget this name, Jean Valjean. Do you remember now? Because he was a galley slave. Ce qu'il avait toujours le plus redouté dans ses heures de repli sur lui-même, dans ses nuits d'insomnie, c'était d'entendre jamais prononcer ce nom. And we'll go already until there because it's a long sentence. So, what he had always the most redouté, feared, in those hours of repli sur lui-même, we could say withdrawn into himself, like a moment of reflection, of reflection, of thinking. I think I would translate by withdrawn into himself. In those nights of insomnia, so what was his biggest fear? It was to hear nevermore pronounce this name. Yes, because nobody ever calls him Jean Valjean anymore, because he buried that name. Il se disait que ce serait là pour lui la fin de tout. So he said to himself that would be for him the end of everything. What would be the end of everything? We will understand it. Que le jour où ce nom reparaîtrait, il ferait évanouir autour de lui sa nouvelle vie. So that the day, and in French it's the day where, and not the day when, his name reappeared, the name of Jean Valjean, he would make faint, he would make vanish or disappear around him his new life. Yes, if they discovered he was Jean Valjean, then, this totally new life would vanish, would disappear. Et qui sait même peut-être au-dedans de lui sa nouvelle âme. And who knows even maybe, and au-dedans de lui means really inside himself, his new soul. Maybe his totally new soul would disappear. The soul where he's helping people with his factory, he's helping Fantine and so on and so on. Maybe all that would disappear. Il frémissait de la seule pensée que c'était possible. So he trembled of the only the only idea and the only thinking of it that it was possible. So only thinking about this made him tremble. Sa rêverie continuait de s'éclaircir. Donc sa rêverie, you can say rêverie in English, but it's like some kind of his daydreaming, went on to s'éclaircir means like to clear up. Hein? He's seeing clearer into what has to be done, what's happening. Il se rendait de plus en plus compte de sa position. And we have the verb se rendre compte. That's an important verb you should note down. Means to realize. He realized more and more his position, so what his position was. Il lui semblait qu'il venait de s'éveiller de je ne sais quel sommeil. So it seemed to him that he, and you know in the meantime, venir de is translated in English by has just, that he had just woken up to, I don't know which, no, not to, from. He had just woken up from I don't know which sleep. Et qu'il se trouvait glissant sur une pente au milieu de la nuit. And that he found himself, was standing, gliding on a slope in the middle of the night. Yes, because his whole new life can just disappear. Debout, standing up, frissonnant, trembling, reculant en vain, stepping back, trying to step back in vain, without any result, sur le bord extrême d'un abîme. On the extreme border or the extreme rim of a abîme, yeah, we could say abyss or, you're staring in the depths, as if he's standing there and he's going to fall down in the abyss. Okay, I hope you're following me. Let me take some coffee. I hope you have something good to drink also. Good. So, il entrevoyait distinctement dans l'ombre un inconnu, un étranger que la destinée prenait pour lui et poussait dans le gouffre à sa place. So he saw, but why is it not voyait, but entrevoyait? Entrevoyait is like you get a glimpse of it. You see in between, but it's like really getting a glimpse. Distinctively, very clear. In the dark, he saw an unknown person, a stranger, which destiny took for him. So destiny took this stranger and pushed in the abyss in his place, so for him. So it's as if he sees himself as a stranger and there somebody is pushing him in the abyss. Il fallait, pour que le gouffre se refermât, que quelqu'un y tombât, lui ou l'autre. So it was necessary so that, or in order to the abyss to close again, that somebody fell in there. The there, in there is the word I. I is very often, it's a place. Him or the other. Okay, so somebody has to, to fall in the abyss, meaning somebody has to carry the guilt of all this. And maybe it would be Mr. Madeleine, or it is this Champmathieu, whom they think he is. Il n'avait qu'à laisser faire. Il n'avait que, ne que is only, he should only, and laisser faire is let things happen. Laisser faire, let people do, let things happen. That's what he's thinking. He thinks, I'm not going to do anything, I will wait and see. La clarté devint complète, et il s'avoua ceci. So the clearing became complete. He saw everything very clear, and he admitted this to himself, que sa place était vide aux galères, that his place in the galleys was empty. qu'il avait beau faire, qu'elle y attendait toujours. And this is a very nice construction. Il avait beau faire, or you can also use it in the present tense. Il a beau faire means he could do anything, he could do whatever, that she, and she is his place, and that his place would wait always for him there. He would forever be a galley slave. Que le vol de Petit Gervais l'y ramenait. That the theft of un petit gervais, it's a very small cheese that kids normally eat. So that the theft of this small cheese brought him back there. Again, he is there. Que cette place vide l'attendrait. That this empty place in the galleys would wait for him. Et l'attirerait jusqu'à ce qu'il y fût. And would attract him there. Attirer is to attract. Until he was there. You know, fut coming from the verb to be, that he was there. Until he returned to the galleys, this place would attract him. Que cela était inévitable et fatal. That this was inevitable, and fatal. Et puis il se dit, and then he said to himself, qu'en ce moment, il avait un remplaçant. That at this moment, he had un remplaçant. It's a replacement. It's somebody who replaces him. You know, this Champmathieu. Qu'il paraissait qu'un nommé Champmathieu, here we have it, avait cette mauvaise chance. That it seemed that one person named Champmathieu, had this bad luck. Et que, quant à lui, and that as far as he was concerned, quant à lui, as far as he's concerned, présent désormais au bagne dans la personne de ce Champmathieu, présent dans la société sous le nom de Monsieur Madeleine, il n'avait plus rien à redouter. So that, as far as he was concerned, present from now on in prison in the name of this Champmathieu, and present in his company under the name of Mr. Madeleine, he had nothing anymore to fear. Redouter is to fear. So that's what he's thinking. My name here is Mr. Madeleine, and in prison it's Champmathieu. Pourvu qu'il n'empêchât pas les hommes de sceller sur la tête de ce Champmathieu cette pierre de l'infamie qui, comme la pierre du sépulcre, tombe une fois et ne se relève jamais. Pourvu que, as long as, or providing that he did not impeach or prevent the man to seal on the head of the Champmathieu this stone of infamy. So this stone of infamy, he should not prevent man like Javert to stop dropping it on the head of Champmathieu. Okay, so this stone, which, as the stone of a sepulchre, of a tomb, falls once and does not relève, doesn't lift up again. But that means that he is going to make Champmathieu guilty of what he himself has done. Tout cela était si violent et si étrange qu'il se fit soudain en lui cette espèce de mouvement indescriptible. So all that was so violent and so strange that there happened suddenly in him this kind of indescribable, I think, movement. And we're going to the next page, which is a bit, not a good scan. So, qu'aucun homme n'éprouve plus de 2 ou 3 fois dans sa vie. So this, this feeling, which you cannot describe, that any man doesn't feel more than 2 or 3 times in his life. Sorte de convulsion de la conscience qui remue tout ce que le cœur a de douteux. Some kind of movement of convulsion in his conscience, which moves. This is moving in his conscience. Am I going to have this man guilty instead of me? And moving in his conscience everything that the heart has, that the heart doubts about. So all the things that you feel in your heart are wrong, they pop up in your conscience. And that's what he's saying. I hope you understand. I know it's difficult, but please hold on. Keep on, hang on, keep on reading with me. You will be happy when we get to the end. Qui se compose d'ironie, de joie et de désespoir et qu'on pourrait appeler un éclat de rire intérieur. So this feeling, which is composed of irony, joy, and despair, and that one could call a burst out of interior laughter. Because finally, he's quite happy that someone else takes his position, but his conscience doesn't accept it. So I hope you understood that. C'est décidé, laissons aller les choses. Well, it's all decided. Let happen the things, let it happen. Laissons faire le bon Dieu. Let do whatever he wants, the good Lord. So that's what he says, we just let things happen. Il se parlait ainsi dans les profondeurs de sa conscience, penché sur ce qu'on pourrait appeler son propre abîme. So he talked to himself like that in the depths of his conscience. Bent over to what one could call his own abyss or depths. Il se leva de sa chaise et se mit à marcher dans la chambre. So he stood up from his chair and started to walk in the room. Allons, dit-il, n'y pensons plus. Come on, he said, let's not think about it anymore. Voilà une résolution prise. Well, there you have this. He has taken a resolution. He decided, well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to think about it anymore. Let's just make things happen as they happen. Mais il ne sentit aucune joie. But he did not feel any joy. Au contraire, on the contrary, on n'empêche pas plus la pensée de revenir à une idée que la mer de revenir à un rivage. Okay, here we have a very nice comparison. So he says, one does not prevent more a thought to come back to an idea than the sea coming back to the coast or to the shore. Pour le matelot, cela s'appelle la marée. For a sailor, that is called the tides, the tides of the sea, coming and going of the sea. Pour le coupable, cela s'appelle le remords. For the guilty, that is called le remords, I think remorse, we could say. Not really regrets, that's something else. I think remorse. Dieu soulève l'âme comme l'océan. So God lifts up the soul like an ocean. So when you feel guilty, this is coming back all the time. Au bout de peu d'instants, il eut beau faire, il reprit ce sombre dialogue dans lequel c'était lui qui parlait et lui qui écoutait. So at the end of a few moments, after a few moments, we have again this construction, il a beau faire, il eut beau faire, il a beau faire. He could as well do anything, whatever, didn't work. He took up again this dark dialogue in which it was him who talked and him who was listening. Disant ce qu'il eût voulu taire, so saying what he eût voulu, would have wanted to taire, keep quiet, écoutant ce qu'il n'eût pas voulu entendre, listening to what he would not have wanted to hear, cédant à cette puissance mystérieuse qui lui disait « pense ». So ceding, making place for this mysterious strength, puissance, that said to him, think. Comme elle disait, il y a 2000 ans, un autre condamné, marche. Ah, so this strength in his head, in his conscience says, think. Comme, exactly like she said, this strength said, 2000 years ago, to another convict, marche, walk. And there I think he's maybe thinking of 2000 years ago, he might think of Jesus Christ. Go, walk. Il se demanda donc où il en était. So he asked himself, donc is so he asked himself where he was, meaning, where am I now? Where am I standing? What's my position? Il s'interrogea sur cette résolution prise. So he questioned himself on this taken resolution, this taken decision. Il se confessa à lui-même que tout ce qu'il venait d'arranger dans son esprit était monstrueux. So he confessed to himself that everything that he had just arranged in his mind was monstrous. Que laisser aller les choses, laisser faire le bon Dieu, c'était tout simplement horrible. So he's thinking that let things happen, laisser aller les choses, let things happen, and let the good Lord do whatever he wants. That was simply horrible. Laisser s'accomplir cette maîtrise de la destinée et des hommes, ne pas l'empêcher, s'y prêter par son silence, ne rien faire enfin. C'était faire tout. It's a very long sentence, so let's already translate. So to let accomplish this méprise is like a mistake or a misunderstanding of the destiny and of man. Well, the mistake or the misunderstanding is that Jean-Mathieu is in prison instead of Madeleine. Not to prevent it, s'y prêter, so accepted by your silence, ne rien faire, nothing do, finally. It was do everything. C'était le dernier degré de l'indignité hypocrite. It was the last degree of hypocritical indignity. C'était un crime bas, lâche, sournois, abject, hideux. It was a low crime. Let me see, how shall I translate lâche? So, coward, maybe? Sournois, sneaky, abject, and hideous. We've almost finished. Pour la première fois depuis 8 ans, le malheureux, homme, venait de sentir la saveur amère d'une mauvaise pensée et d'une mauvaise action. So for the first time since 8 years, the miserable man had just felt the bitter taste of a bad pensée, bad thought, and of a bad action. He's feeling bad. Il la recracha avec dégoût. He spit it out again with disgust. Il continua de se questionner. So he went on questioning himself. Il se demanda, he asked himself, okay, guys, we're finished now. But I hope you're still there. It was not easy. It's a lot of thinking, not many actions. Actions are always easier to read. But I hope you will be 35 again next week because I want to go on reading this marvelous, wonderful book. So have a very nice Tuesday and I hope to see you soon. Bye.